Good afternoon, everyone. Just waiting to let some more people in. All right, we can go ahead and get everything started. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sydney Konahia. I am the manager of membership retention and recruitment with IFA. And we're really excited to have you guys on this webinar this afternoon to go over some pretty important things that new members and first-time attendees need to know about convention. So our staff speakers today are myself. We have Janine Luttrell, Senior Director of Conferences and Meetings with IFA. We have Paul Rocchio, VP of Development and Member Services, and Brittany Cosby, who's the Senior Manager of Certification Programs. So we are going to go ahead and get things kicked off. I believe Janine is going to start us off with some general convention overview information.
Thank you, Sydney. Hi, everyone. Glad you could join. Really looking forward to seeing everybody in Las Vegas. We have a few overview slides here for you regarding the convention. Here are some stats that we have had at convention in the past. Over to the right side, you'll see a smaller graph on percentages of our attendees last year in 2022. Something to keep in mind, there are a couple of notes and trends that we have noticed is one, our franchisees numbers of attendees have grown year over year, which is nice to see. Also, last year was an odd year because we were still dealing with COVID. That was impacting our numbers. We still had a strong showing in San Diego, but we noticed that we had a higher, a little bit of a lower franchisor percentage than we normally have. So normally that number is in the 50s, and we expect to see that return this year, and have slowly seen that over the course of last year toward the end of 22. Also to note, we have almost 40 countries represented this year that are registered for the 23 convention. So we are super excited about that. So a couple of elements about the convention that is a part of your registration. We do have what we branded last year as IFA Franchise City. And so you will have full access to this exhibit hall. In the exhibit hall, we will have all the food and beverage. We'll have the lunches and our receptions. We'll also have one of our morning breaks on Tuesday that will occur when we're doing a community service project. Aside from that, we do have a separate registration lounge in the foyer area near registration that will have all of our coffee breaks throughout convention. Of course, we have several sets of concurrent educational breakout sessions. We have 10 different tracks. Within those tracks, we have also our summits and specialty sessions that you may have known from the past. If you've actually a first-time attendees, so you don't know in the past. So we, over the course of the 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, there will be 4 sets of concurrent breakout sessions. And you'll see later on in this presentation the different tracks that we do have. In addition to that, we have 3 general sessions that will happen, one each day. Along with our opening and closing receptions. Our opening reception is actually happening on Sunday, February 26th, and our closing reception, we will have a closing reception in our exhibit hall, as well as what we've now called our late night party, IFA Unplugged, that will happen on Tuesday night. Something we started last year was our on-site community service project. In the past, we have had just an off-site community service project, but not everyone could participate. And so we wanted to take advantage of having all of the franchise community there on site at the convention. And so we will now have that in the exhibit hall this year. So when the exhibit hall is open, you'll be able to participate in those activities as well. Just so you know, all of that is included in your registration fee. So it doesn't require a separate registration for the evening events. If you do have a guest that's coming with you that's not registered for convention, but you want to buy them a ticket to the evening events, you are able to do that for the opening reception and the IFA Unplugged. So we are in one complex, the Mandalay Bay Convention Hotel and Center. So there are two hotels that are part of the complex, Mandalay Bay and Delano Suites Hotel. But it's all one complex, all one building that's connected to the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, where the actual meetings will be taking place on the second floor. Just a little tidbit note about hotel rooms. If you have not booked your hotel room, you should do so immediately. The links are on our franchise.org/convention website. We have some rooms left at Mandalay Bay at our IFA rate, but tomorrow is the deadline to book those rooms, or they sell out, whichever one comes first. There are still other rooms available at the hotel, but after tomorrow we'll be selling at the prevailing rate. If for some reason you find yourself in a place closer to convention where you need to book another room for someone else and there isn't space at the Mandalay Bay, there is the Luxor Hotel right next door. It is like a 5-minute drive or a 15-minute walk. It is literally next door, but Vegas, everything is so long and wide, it's about a mile. So if you're a walker like me, it's not so bad. Okay, also, in addition to what comes with your convention registration, there are some opportunities to add on for an additional fee. Our CFE special sessions, which Brittany will talk about in just a few moments, but those are happening on Saturday and Sunday before we start convention. We also have our annual leadership conference that is planned and run by our IFA Women's Franchise Committee. That is happening on Sunday. They've been doing this event now for 23 years. It's an amazing event, has grown over the years. If you have someone coming to convention that is on the leadership track or already a leader, it's definitely something that you do want to register for. We also have our Emerging Franchisor Boot Camp. This is going to happen on Monday morning before the opening general session begins. This is a great opportunity for those brands that are 100 units or less. We have what is called the Fran Hack Problem Solution Roundtable discussions with C-suite mentors that have been in the business for a long time, and also experts in the emerging stage. So it really is a great opportunity for such a low cost to get some one-on-one time with these great mentors, as well as just talking to your other colleagues, maybe going through some of the same issues and challenges that you are facing. And last but not least, David Barr is also the keynote presenter for that Emerging Franchisor Boot Camp. So it will start with the keynote for him and then go into those roundtable discussions. Those can be added to your registration. So you can simply go back to your confirmation email that you received once you registered, and you can click on the link to modify. Also, if you are unable to click on that link, you can go to the registration website, click on the modified button on the homepage, and you should have a registration number in your confirmation email that you can enter in to get back into your registration to add any of these events. I'll also go ahead and put in the chat the registration email in case you need some help doing this too.
Hey, Janine, we got one question. Somebody's wondering if they get CLE credits at the convention. It's the first I've heard of that. I don't think we don't give out CLE credits at the convention, do we? Only the legal symposium, I thought.
Correct. CLE, we do not apply to the states for CLE credits. We only do that at our legal symposium and the IBA IFA joint conference, both taking place in May in DC.
Thanks.
Hey, I think now over to you, Brittany.
Yes, thank you, Janine. My name is Brittany Cosby, Senior Manager of Certification Programs at IFA. And speaking of CFE, perfect segue into my slides. I will spend just a few moments discussing the CFE program, as well as special sessions that will be offered at convention. So for those who are interested in professional development opportunities to expand your knowledge in all things franchising, we invite you to register for one or more of our franchise-focused professional development sessions. During the pre-convention special sessions, which will be held on February 25th, as well as the 26th in Las Vegas, we will offer 12 sessions that focus on expanding your knowledge in different areas of franchising, such as creating an effective and valuable franchise advisory board, protecting your valuable systems and information from cyber attacks, becoming a high-performing multi-unit franchisee, and ensuring federal and state franchise compliance, and many other sessions. On Saturday, you can switch to the next slide, Sydney. Thank you. So on Saturday, February 25th, there will be 5 full-day sessions offered, including FranGuard, which is a mandatory course for all CFE candidates. So if you are currently enrolled in the Certified Franchise Executive Program, we strongly encourage you to enroll in the in-person FranGuard course, which is our franchise law course. It is the same price, whether you complete it in person or online. So we definitely suggest getting the most out of the in-person session with the live classroom facilitation with franchise attorneys, so that you can ask your questions about FDD agreements to those franchise attorneys on site. We will also offer other full day sessions. So if you decide to register for FranGuard, which is an 8-hour course, you will not be able to register for any of the other sessions on Saturday, but we will also offer additional sessions on Sunday. For Saturday, we will also offer 2 3 to 4 hour sessions on Saturday. Sunday, we will offer FranGuard again. For those who may not be able to arrive on Saturday, there will be an opportunity to take FranGuard on Sunday, as well as 2 3 to 4 hour sessions on Sunday. For a list of course descriptions, credits, fees, we do suggest visiting our website, which is on this screen, and I will also include a link in the chat so that you can get more information about the different CFE sessions. One thing I would like to mention is that although the sessions are titled CFE Special Sessions, these are professional development courses and opportunities that are offered to anyone interested in expanding your knowledge in franchising. You do not have to be in the CFE program to attend. If you decide to register for a CFE session or a professional development session, and then later decide to enroll in the program, those credits can count toward the CFE program when you enroll, but is not, again, a prerequisite to be enrolled in the program to register for any professional development sessions. And if you're wondering exactly what is CFE, The certified CFE is the Certified Franchise Executive Program. It is a certification program that has been around for about 35 years, and it is a symbol of leadership and accomplishment throughout the franchise community. Candidates pursue the CFE designation to have that credential in the area where they work. If you are already in the CFE program, or if you plan to enroll in a program, there are a number of CFE credits that are offered just for attending convention. So you can earn up to 11 CFE education credits and 8 CFE participation credits for registering and attending the full conference. And then if you would like to earn additional education credits, you can register for any of the CFE special sessions, as well as, again, Vanguard, which is a mandatory course for CFE candidates. And again, I will add the link in the chat if you're interested in registering for any of the special sessions. And if you have any questions about the CFE program, you can reach out to cfe@franchise.org.
I think we're going, I'll go ahead and cover this slide. And I did forget to mention in the beginning that this is being recorded. So later this evening, a link to the recording, as well as a copy of the slide deck, will be sent to all registrants. So if you had a colleague or someone that couldn't attend the actual live session, you can definitely share this with them. So these are just a few things that you should do to prepare for convention. As Janine mentioned earlier, make sure that your hotel is booked. The rooms are going very quickly. And also make sure your travel is booked, whether you're flying or if you're driving, then you're good. Definitely connect with other attendees via LinkedIn on the 14th. So that's next Thursday. We will be sending out the opt-in attendee list to all registrants. So it's definitely a good idea to start making those connections before convention. So you kind of have someone to meet up with before then. So if this is your first time attending, definitely download the 2023 IFA Annual Convention app that is going live on February 10th. And there will be an email that's sent out from our IFA events team. And there will also be more information included in the February 14th email. Review the track agendas. There's a little blurb to the side. Oh, sorry, that's a different blurb. The track agendas can be found on franchise.org/convention. I will drop that in the chat as well. But we have curated track agendas based off of emerging brands, real estate operations, kind of everything we have going on at convention. So that's a good way to kind of plan your time at convention out beforehand. Definitely keep your business cards handy, whether you have a virtual business card or physical business cards. That is definitely going to be something you need. And you can also connect with other attendees on the app, so that I feel like people are getting away from the traditional types of business cards. So that is another way to connect with other attendees. Convention attire, I think this is a question all IFA staff gets pretty often. It is business casual, but definitely make sure that you're wearing comfortable shoes. As Janine mentioned, there is a lot of walking in Vegas, and this is a pretty big convention center. So definitely dress for comfort. And lastly, make sure you're not missing any important information. If you are maybe starting to realize you're not receiving IFA emails, please reach out to myself or Janine or Paul or Brittany, and we can definitely make sure you guys are getting those emails so you're staying in the loop. And I think I'm going to pass it off to Paul.
Wonderful. Thanks, Sydney. And let me just add one point to what you were discussing. Make sure you also just take a look at the weather. Some of the coldest conventions we've had have been in Vegas. It snowed one year in Vegas. So if you plan on going to any events or anything outside of the Mandalay Bay property, just make sure you have a jacket if it's going to be 35 degrees out, because like I said, one year it did snow, and it usually is tends to be a little on the cool side during the IFA convention, but just wanted to mention that to everybody. Well, listen, I can't wait to see everyone at the convention. Really looking forward to hopefully meeting you all. There's a couple of, awesome events that are happening. And these are things that, we're all kind of working on with our volunteer leaders. And, someday we're going to reach out to you guys and you're going to be volunteer leaders and you're going to be, speaking at the new member first time attendee briefing, or you're going to be an ambassador at the new member first time attendee reception as well. So Sunday, February 26th, I hope for those of you who have made your travel plans, or if you haven't made your travel plans yet, please make sure you try to get in so you could attend the event on Sunday, starting at 4:45 p.m. It's the new member and first time attendee briefing, followed by a reception. This is sponsored by Benetrends. Rocco Fiorentino will make some opening remarks, and then we'll have folks from the membership committee, and then IFA leadership will stop by as well. And then we're going to have over 100 ambassadors. There are going to be about 62 tables set up in this room, and there's going to be 2 ambassadors per table. These will be, longstanding members of IFA, and they're going to be there to help kind of answer any questions you have. They're going to be going over some talking points, if you will, that we'll provide to them, just about, additional things that are happening at IFA throughout the year, but also they're there to, answer, any specific questions you have about anything. And, if they're, unable to answer any questions, they're going to obviously direct you to, one of us, the IFA staff. But please know that these are, folks that were like you, 5-10 years ago, and they're, giving back. Because the one thing I've always noticed from my vantage point is that, our, franchising is a relationship business. Our members love to give back to the people coming up the ladder behind them, whether you're a franchisor, franchisee, or supplier. We just see it happening day in and day out. So I hope you can make it for that event. I think it'll be a great way for you all to kick off the convention. And following that event is another event for those of you who like to drink or have wonderful hors d'oeuvres. But we're going to then move you to another reception, and this is sponsored by Blue Rock Search and Dine Brands, and this will kind of be our big kickoff opening reception. And this will be open to all the attendees who are at the convention. So this will be another great networking event, because along with all the education that we provide at the convention, it's really all about networking. And please take advantage of that, because you're going to be able to meet a ton of people. And then on Monday, the other networking event, if you will, an educational event, is the new member first time supplier attendee meet and greet up. So we have the supplier board within IFA. It's made up of 21 individuals, all supplier members. It's a nominated position. If anybody is interested in finding out more about the supplier board, or even any IFA committee for that matter, you could just reach out to me directly. I'll type in my email address here when I'm done chatting. But the supplier board, and this was an initiative that was really spearheaded by Marcia Mead, who oversees kind of the membership operating group within the supplier board. So for all of you who are suppliers, I hope you can make this event on the 27th at 9:30 a.m. And then on Tuesday, the 28th at 9 p.m., from 9 p.m. till midnight. And this is another awesome networking event. And Janine had mentioned this earlier. This is the IFA Unplugged, and this is sponsored by Hoffer Adler. So I do hope you can make this event as well. Next slide, please. And then additional convention networking opportunities. We, like I had mentioned earlier, we have a number of our committees and forums are all meeting at the convention. So if you do happen to be in on Saturday, the 25th, we have the membership committee meeting, and that is open to anybody who wants to stop in. I'll be there. Sydney should be there as well, I believe, right, Sydney? And we'd be honored to have you come in as a guest, and you could kind of meet with the other board members, but then also listen in to what we'll be discussing at that meeting. Obviously, the finance committee meeting is a closed meeting, but we wanted to just at least put that on there. So just so you know, I mean, I always like to tell folks, we're just the staff here at IFA. We're just the stewards of the organization. It really belongs to the dues paying members. So our finance committee is made up of IFA members, and they make sure that we're spending everybody's money wisely. So, but that meeting is closed. And then the other committee and forum meetings that are happening on Sunday, and we have quite a few, as you can see. We have the Women's Franchising Committee, Franchise Relations Committee, Supplier Forum Advisory Board, the Franchisor Forum, and the Franchisee Forum. Supplier Forum Advisory Board meeting is also a general membership meeting for all supplier members. So if you are a supplier member, that meeting is open. There might be an instance where they may have to go to closed session, but they'll, just ask the guests to leave, but it probably won't happen. The franchisor and franchisee forum meetings should be open. It's always good to, at least when you walk into the room, just, ask for, one of the IFA staffers. So, people are always very friendly, and they'll just tell them you're a guest. And if you're allowed to sit in on the meeting, and they'll most likely say, yeah, by all means, we'd be honored to have you here. And then we also have our LAG meeting. It's our Legal Legislative Action Group meeting. And then we have our Marketing and Innovation Committee, our Veteran Committee, and our Social Sector Committee. And then on Monday, we also have our Thought Leadership Roundtables. Now, this is something, whether you're a supplier, franchisor, or franchisee, if you've obviously never been to the convention before, this is something where, especially if you're a supplier, the supplier board manages and oversees out of the 190 tables, about 120 of them are supplier driven. So we have various different tracks, and this is open to all attendees, and there is a facilitator at each table, and that person is facilitating the discussion. We always get some of the highest remarks that we get from our attendees are in relationship to the Thought Leadership Roundtables. So if there is a roundtable that is in your wheelhouse, a track, whether it's marketing or franchise development or operations, I would encourage you to sit at that one of the tables, and you're obviously welcome to chime in and be a thought leader. Please make sure you don't sell at these tables. That is frowned upon by everybody. But you're obviously, there representing yourself, you're representing your company. There's nothing wrong with handing out business cards, but nobody is allowed to bring handouts. Nobody's allowed to bring a PowerPoint. And that goes for the facilitators as well. And we have a number of folks walking around the room, but listen, everybody at these tables are considered thought leaders. So if you feel like you have something to add during the conversation, by all means, please do. And then, of course, there's nothing wrong with having business cards. And then, believe me, if somebody wants to meet up with you afterwards, they're going to ask you for your business card. We also have roundtables on Tuesday as well. And you'll have additional information on the agenda about specifically like where it's going to be held and specifically what times on Monday and on Tuesday. And then the committee in 4 meetings. Again, we have our Diversity Institute. We also have evening events and of course the exhibit hall, which as Janine mentioned, we kind of rebranded it, if I remember last year, I believe. So it's called IFA City now, and various community service projects. We also have our C-suite think tank, which is on Tuesday morning. And yeah, it's basically only open to folks who are C-suite, but not necessarily. So if you want to attend that and you're a franchisor, please come into the room. I'll be there. But that is, and Janine, I apologize, correct me if I'm wrong. I should know this after, a gazillion years, but that is only open to franchisors, correct?
For the C-suite think tank, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And then, of course, if anybody has, any questions, and one thing I do for folks ongoing, I'm more than happy to spend, an hour with you on the phone, kind of walking through the agenda with you and walking through the various, agendas by track to help you maximize your time at the convention. Again, I'm more than happy to do that for anybody. And if my email address isn't somewhere out here, I'll type it in when I'm done chatting with you all. Next slide, please. Am I covering this one or someone else? I apologize. Go for it, Janine. Thank you.
Okay, so Exhibit Hall, the IFA Franchise City. So this will open on Monday after our opening general session. We will flow right in there for lunch and to be able to speak and meet with all of our wonderful supplier members and franchisors that have booths and services to offer our attendees. As I mentioned earlier, the lunches, the receptions will be in this room. In addition to that, on Tuesday morning, not during exhibit hours, we have one set 30-minute time from 10 to 10:30 that will be completely focused on our on-site community service. So I'll chat about that on another slide in more detail, but you'll be able to do so much in this one room. You'll get a bite to eat, you'll get something to drink, you'll be able to go around and meet with all of our exhibitors. You can visit the IFA booth for any IFA questions that you have or questions about convention. We're there to answer or at least steer you in the right direction. We'll have representatives from IFA at all times during the expo hours at that IFA booth. Addition to that, we have our new this year, our IFA board and past chairs lounge. So you may swing by there and see a board member sitting in there having a quick meeting and a chat. Might be a great way to meet up with some of our leadership. Nothing is scheduled in there. It's strictly a lounge. So stop by, get a drink, learn a little bit about our board. We'll have their pictures up and names so you can see who's who. And then we will have our international lounge. We normally have this in a smaller room meeting space, which we will have on Sunday and Monday morning. But once the exhibit hall opens, we are now officially moving that into the expo hall. So it's just an area for all of our wonderful international attendees to come and meet up with different colleagues around the world. And just sit and chat and relax, and we'll have some beverage service and some coffees in there as well. And then, of course, the biggest thing that we're going to have in there is our community service project. We'll have one project on Monday going on, and we'll have another project on Tuesday. There is a sign up for that if you want to schedule a specific time, but you don't. We'd like you to, because we want to make sure we have enough people there doing the service project, but also you can just stop by while you're there, do the service project for a few minutes and move on as well. So we know everyone loves to give back to the community. So this is definitely a highlight of the hall as well. The educational tracks and summits and specialty sessions that I referred to at the beginning, here are the 10 tracks that we cover across business. New this year, we've added a real estate track as well. Again, there are 4 concurrent time blocks. So 4 time blocks where we'll have the 9 to 10 concurrent sessions happening at one time. So there is one on Monday afternoon, there is one on Tuesday morning, and then there is one on Tuesday afternoon, and then the last one will be on Wednesday morning. So we were good about spreading out the different tracks amongst the 4 time blocks, also giving a break. So you may see a marketing session in 3 of the time blocks, but not in 1. So that is an opportunity where you can visit a different track or an industry trend, things like that, or have a break and be able to network with your colleagues too. So you choose your own adventure. We offer a lot of education. We offer a lot of networking opportunities. It is a lot of content, and you'll definitely be tired at the end. So, take care of yourself. Like it was said earlier, wear comfortable shoes, but also make sure you're taking breaks and getting good sleep and all of that as well too. Okay, a little bit more about our community service on Sunday. For those who may not be signed up for a session in the afternoon, we will have a offsite service project. We've been going to the Rundle Elementary School for many years. Anytime we have the convention in Las Vegas, there is a sign up for that and a small nominal fee of $25. You can add that to your registration as well. There will be transportation taking folks over there and bringing them back. But again, not to worry if you are unable to do the offsite project. Like I said, we have the onsite service projects. So here they are. Monday, they will be putting kits together for our veteran and communities. And so that will be happening all day Monday during the expo hours. And then on Tuesday morning, we do have a fun run. It's very relaxed and laid back. There is a link to sign up just so that we know that you're interested and we'll be there. It'll be right outside the Mandalay Bay Convention doors. So there is the main doors where there's the parking lot. So everyone will be meeting right by kind of the beach. They call it the beach where the pool is entrance. Again, the Mandalay Bay Convention Center parking lot area. So we'll be meeting out there, and those that sign up will go on a casual run or walk up the strip and back. And then on Tuesday, throughout the day in the exhibit hall, we have the Meals of Hope program. We'll be packing. Our goal is 50,000 meals. So we definitely want you to sign up for that. I'll throw the link in this chat, but more information of that is definitely online as well as on the registration site. But feel free to reach out to us with any questions, and we'll throw some links to our foundation team as well to help answer those. So we have an incredible lineup for our general session. We'll be starting off Monday with the president and CEO of McDonald's, then moving on to the CEO of Dine Brands. And last but not least, we're very excited to have Drew Brees. He will be there and doing a fireside chat with one of the franchise brands that he is a franchisee of, Small Sliders. Maria Rivera will be interviewing him. So we're thrilled to have this incredible opening. And then on Tuesday, we will have Ginny Clark, who's the former director of executive recruiting at Google. Followed Ginny as keynote, we will have our what is called a franchise 10X session. It is very much like TEDx style, but not as long. It'll be a moderated chat with Ginny Clark, with 3 different franchisors that will come out one at a time and talk about different topics across diversity in Fran Dev, in organizational culture, and in leadership. And then on Wednesday, our closing session, we will have Amy and Ben Wright, co-founders of Biddy and Bose, and we are of course, talking about social cause franchising. It's definitely a session you do not want to miss. I hope you aren't leaving early. There'll probably be not a dry eye in the audience after listening to them. And so we are super excited for this rock star lineup. So Sydney, I think you want me to cover this too. One of the things is the app. You may have heard about the mobile app. We will be going live with the mobile app no later than next week. You'll be able to go in your app store and look up International Franchise Association and download the app. You won't be able to log in yet because it's not live, but you should be able to log in with your email address that you registered for. You'll also be receiving an email from IFA events at moco.com with information on how to get into the app and download it, etc. But we will also follow up with information on how to do the same thing through one of our IFA pre-event convention emails that should be going out on February 14th. Everything is in the mobile app. I know someone was asking about this earlier. We have a very thin printed program. It's more of like an overview of the convention and exhibitor directory. It is not going to have all the detail in it. The detail is in the mobile app. I strongly encourage you to download that app. It will have the session topics, the descriptions, the speakers, the rooms, the map, anything you need to know about the convention is in that mobile app. And you can also participate and reach out and connect with people through the app as well. We strongly encourage you to really share with your network all the great education and new people you're meeting while you're there. So if you're a social media guru, definitely post about the event, share what you're experiencing, and we follow all of it. You'll probably be reposted by IFA. So thank you so much in advance to really being active and sharing your experiences.
All right, thank you, Janine, Paul, and Brittany for all the information. And we can go ahead and open it up to questions. I know there's been a lot coming into the chat and I've been kind of answering as they come in, so it's Janine. But for any of the ones that were answered via direct message, there was a question about if Franchising World was going to be released prior to convention. Franchising World, for those of you who don't know, is IFA's magazine. And it's currently in production and it will be mailed out to all members next week. We will also have copies available at the IFA booth as well as the publication bin. Let's see if there's some other ones that came in that weren't answered. A few dropping in right now. Yep, Janine answered about the exhibit hall. So yes, to clarify, the exhibit hall and IFA Franchise City are the same thing, and that is in the convention center.
Also, there's a question about the run. You could just show up. It's just helpful to us to know how many people to expect. So there is a link to just sign up your interest for the run. It's in your registration confirmation email. But I will see if I can put that also in the chat too.
Thank you, Janine. There was another question, if you had to register separately for the receptions. You do not. All of the receptions are already included in your registration. Janine mentioned in the beginning of the webinar that if you had an additional person that wanted to attend IFA Unplugged, or what's the opening reception as well? Janine, sorry. If someone wanted, if they were bringing an additional attendee to IFA Unplugged, you could purchase another ticket for that, correct?
Yes, the tickets for purchase on the evening events is for IFA Unplugged and the Sunday opening welcome reception, just those two events. You can purchase a guest ticket.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think that about covers everything. Just gonna check, there's one more coming in. Oh, that was Shane. Okay. So I think that was about it. That kind of covered everything that might have been sent as a direct message. If you have any questions after this call, please feel free to reach out to myself, Janine, Paul, or Brittany. We're more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. And again, this was recorded. So I will be sending the recording link along with a copy of the slide deck to all registrants later this evening. So we really appreciate everyone for joining, and we look forward to seeing you all in Vegas in a couple weeks. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.